So without further ado, John has, I don't know, anywhere from 10 to 11 minutes, about 10 or 15 minutes to present on his experience this past semester. So John, it's all you.
Okay, thanks Ken. What I'm going to do is basically go through my experiences with it, pros and cons, and then I'll open it up if you have any questions, specific questions that I could maybe answer for you. I'm kind of new to the iPad myself. Started out, there's some really cool apps on here. Now, start off by saying that the iPad itself doesn't have all the power that you do with a personal computer or laptop. It just doesn't have the memory. All right. For example, I don't have Microsoft Office on here, and I don't think I can get it. Right, Barry?
Right.
All right. So little things like that tend to be an issue, but it's basically the world of apps with this. So what I want to do is go through some of the apps. This is one of my favorites. I believe that's the highest score in the nation right now.
Money well spent.
And again, the nice thing about this is when you think about the elementary school kids, they love these things. I mean, there's games on them, but there's education involved as well. My son had a blast with this, and it's just taking pictures. But then I introduced some math programs that he went through on it. I mean, he just loved the camera on here. He can do all kinds of weird stuff with his face. Right? But it's very user-friendly. What did I use it for? Mostly, I started out with an app called TeacherPal. And I really like this app because it was very easy to take attendance. I don't know how many of you take attendance in your classrooms, but I actually grade on attendance. I make attendance mandatory. You can set up your own classes. All right, I'll just take any class, for example, Math 110. Click on it. And a nice thing, let's see, does it switch with me? Yeah, great. What's really nice about this is, especially at the beginning of the year when you're learning all the students' names, and you have 30-some students, trying to remember their names, a lot of new students, I can set up a seating chart here however I want to set it up, which is nice. So that as they come into class, you know, typically they end up sitting in the same spot throughout the year. So I have a seating chart on here, and then to take attendance, it's very simple. Just click the button. You know, if just about everybody's there, I can click Attend All, and go through and say, all right, there's a couple absent, and it's that easy. I also have students that switch. You know, I have 2 sections of Math 104. So I'll have some students, they switch from the 10 o'clock to the 1 o'clock to the 10 o'clock for whatever reason. And again, it's very easy to update this. When you click on your attendance, again, I can easily go back in and give them present attendance or absent. Also with this particular program, and again, this is one of thousands and thousands of programs out there. The Math 110 here also, I can get individual student information immediately. For example, I want to look at a certain student. You can put their personal info if you have it, you know, if they want to give you their cell phone number. But this is really nice because it tells me their attendance for the whole year. You know, and they come in and say, well, I haven't missed it all. And I say, well, actually you missed 17 times. And you can see on here where it would be popular for elementary school teachers. We have spots where you can put notes, behavior. You can keep overall grades in here, quizzes. The only issue I found with this program is that it's difficult to weight your tests and quizzes properly. It can be done, but then you have to, it takes a little bit of work. But anyway, this is very nice. Obviously, this is how I take my attendance. Just walk to class. And again, I can keep track of just about anything I want to in here. So that's one of my apps. Kind of want to talk a little bit how I was able to use this in the classroom. All right. I wasn't able to actually project anything. I don't think it was possible until like April, beginning of April. There is no app where you can just connect to a wireless projector and just project everything like I'm doing now. We actually had to get a little Apple ITV here to project. So that's part of the problem. Wasn't able to use it a lot in the classroom where I could project it. All right. But there are wonderful applications on here, like one of my favorites is Sketchpad Explorer. Goes into all different levels of mathematics, for example. I mean, I won't get into it, but allows students to actually go through, perform operations, you know, look at slope as a fraction, as a decimal, and so on. And just recently learned now with Sketchpad Explorer that I can upload my files to the Sketchpad Explorer site for not only other teachers to use, but then all the students will be able to get those files as well. Because again, remember, we don't have a ton of memory on these. That's the only issue, because I don't have memory that I do with a desktop or a PC. Or, I'm sorry, laptop. What else can you do with these? Just like internet. It happens to be Safari here. But I mean, you can even use this for advising. I can log right into my DCC, be walking around, you know, wherever. I don't have to be stuck in my office. I can access anything I want to on the web. Obviously, YouTube's popular here. And some of the other math apps that we have. What else?
Printing?
Huh?
Printing?
Printing? I believe the only way you can print through this is through a wireless printer. Now we're looking at that. It is possible, but I haven't printed yet. But eventually that would be nice. You know, is if you could do your notes. For example, like I wanted to do notes in class, I can actually record what I'm doing. The students don't necessarily need to see me, but say they want to see what I'm doing, I can stop and save or continue recording. All right. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I don't have my little stylus pen, but this can be recorded and again uploaded for the students. You can save the lesson and so on. There's tons of those programs out there. Personal development or faculty development, professional development. I thought this was excellent. I was fortunate enough to go to an NCTM conference last month, and rather than carrying around the big book that they give you, going through trying to pick all of your sessions that you want to attend, I was able to actually download an actual app that they have here. This is the NCTM app. And what's also nice about this is they continually have it updated. It's updated if, for example, a session is canceled, they'll tell you. I can go through here, say I don't know what sessions I want to go to. Like here, for example, sessions. We have all these sessions at 8 o'clock. You know, what do we mean by investigating technology? Very nice. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Give it. Yeah.
Did I just do that?
No, it's
That one just.
We've been laughing at it the whole time.
Nice.
Sounds like an etch a sketch.
Where'd you
Shake
draw
it.
that app? Okay, it was that app? All right.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, just that app. All right. But it goes through and gives you a good description, tells you who the speaker is. You can look at exhibits. This was also nice. This was in between two big hotels in Philadelphia, and I want to know where my session is. I have no clue. They have it all in the app here. Room whatever, 620, and directions to it. All right, so that was really nice. Again, I could pick whatever sessions I wanted to, and it created a customized schedule just for me. All right, so very nice professional development. I think there were 400 some people at this conference. I think I maybe saw 5 without iPads. Everyone is running around the conference, you know, looking through their sessions. So it's like, it's the wave of the future here. Last thing really I want to talk about is some of the disadvantages I already mentioned, the projector. Obviously there's a ton of advantages, but projecting was an issue. The other issue with this is we've solved it temporarily. We can plug into the HDMI of a projector here. However, how do we use it with the wireless projector? There's no apps for that. So what you can do is, or what you have to do, is actually take this. You need to levitate somehow, plug it into the wireless projector, and then sit that up on top. So that's the only issue. I don't know if Ken's thinking about maybe getting a few of these Apple TVs for a few of the projectors. And I think they're like
$90, so they're
like $90 each. So that's one of the big disadvantages.
John, can you, so if you have to have that plugged into the projector,
Yep.
you also can still have your laptop plugged into the projector at the same time? And
You could, yeah. I think you just have to toggle back and forth here.
on the,
Yeah, to go from one to the other. But yeah, you could have both. But this was also really nice with the students. This is one that I found that was just kind of neat. I have student, if you have a student that's struggling with a certain concept, is it upside down? No. All right.
It's upside down.
This, this is called Algebra Touch. Very cool app. What it does is it takes the students through, all right, say they're stuck on orders of operations, well, this forces them to go through and practice. And this is me just saying, here you go. Here's what you're going to do for whatever, all right? Go through, and they can get an explanation if they want. Kind of goes through showing them, establishing the order of operations, explaining how you get what operation. And what's also nice about this is, let's say I want to try to skip. I want to fool John and say, all right, I'm going to solving variables, I'm done. Well, you can't unlock it without my password. So the students actually would have to go through. All right, in a perfect world, all the students would have an iPad too. That's what would be great. We could all connect in the classroom, be going through examples. All right. That's in a perfect world, right? So it can be used in the classroom pretty successfully. Like I said, I haven't been able to do as much as I want. All right. But again, there are a lot of apps on here that you wouldn't necessarily have with a personal computer. All right, questions. I'm assuming I have all kinds of questions. Yeah?
Is it possible, like with PowerPoint, like is it the same PowerPoint on the Apple as it is that we're using here at the college? Are they compatible?
Yeah, in fact, I think Eric actually did a PowerPoint on his iPad, right, through the Apple TV?
Yeah, it's a different slide
Okay.
program though.
But will the ones that we've already put together, would they work with the
I don't
iPad?
know if you could export them or not.
They do, but oftentimes the fonts get a little bit.
Messed up.
So say you did yours in Times Roman, it may not translate it to Times Roman. So it, and that's probably a disadvantage. I've done that, and then you have to go in and,
Redo everything?
yeah, you know, like change the font size back to 12 or 11, or sometimes the graphics don't all go, and it can be frustrating. So the cool thing on this, though, is the Pages account. You, there's a program, it's a, I forget, I have it online, I think.
This is where I had fun too, at the conference. Rather than trying to take notes, tons of people were standing up, looking right at the screen with all the notes on them, and went, click.
That's what they do with test questions when you review it, they're like,
Oh, okay. So it's pretty popular. I got to go to a NASA presentation, which is really cool.
It's called Keynote. Keynote is the comparable to PowerPoint. It's relatively, I mean, actually, it's quite easy to do. You can actually build the entire presentation on here. And from my experience, going from here to PC is a better transport from PC to Apple for whatever reason.
So, you know, how big of a PowerPoint or Keynote file size could you make on there at once? Because it doesn't have much.
The memory is not bad. What do you have, a 16 or a 32? I think I have a 32 or a 16. I mean, I built pretty big ones, and I don't have an error has occurred.
But I mean, I'm just playing with this. But when I have some of my students, I'll put a problem on the board and I'll say, right, now do it yourself. I'll give you a few minutes. Just kind of keep class fun. I'll play a song like this. This is the wrong one, but all by myself. It's kind of funny. This is a different language. But I can bring up, again, music, videos, whatever, just in a few taps there. Did you say you had a question?
Yeah, you talked about apps and just, I'm kind of a Luddite when it comes to a lot of this stuff, but is there like a clearinghouse? I mean, I teach Bio 102.
Okay.
Where would I find apps for that? And how would I
Apps?
tell what's in an app?
Okay.
Other than
Basic-
going through 10,000 of them one at a time.
Okay. Hold on, let me fix this. Actually, what you have on here is an technical difficulties. It says we're connected. What you have is,
Bring up the App Store.
Yeah, there's a button on those things that says App
yeah,
Store.
there's a little button down here that says App Store. And again, thousands and thousands of apps, and you can narrow down your search to whatever you're looking for. You type in biology, and I can show you this, but you're going to find all kinds of apps. A lot of the apps are free. Some apps, most apps are usually a couple bucks for the real nice ones, $2, $3, $5. There's some that they try to get like 40 bucks for, but I don't think anybody buys those. But you can see Well, you can't see. But on here, most of these are free. There's one for $3.99 and a couple for $1.99, one for 99 cents. So
But you can get them like, say you want to do pig dissection, you can get an app for pig dissection.
I'll bet there is one. Yeah,
Sure there is.
yeah. At the conference, I went to a session called "There's an App for That," and basically anything you come up with, we can find an app for.
Yeah, 'cause there's hundreds of thousands of them, right?
Yeah.
Like millions.
Here's
I just wonder
tons.
if there's some way to winnow it down, but it'd be just like
You
doing
can.
a Google.
Kind of like
You
that.
write
yeah.
your language the right way and you it narrows it down.
We're just doing a search here. That's all you do is a search and just keep narrowing it down. So yeah, most apps are free.
Someone else is doing that. That could be a time
Some
saver.
other questions? Okay. So we're trying to reboot it here. I might be able to just do this like. Right. You want to plug yours in?
Can we use an iPhone with a little wireless thing like that?
I don't see why not. Yeah. All this is as long as you're on the same network, in this case GCC Academic. That's why these you have to actually make sure they're password protected, because then the students can jump in here. So yeah, you can use
I would need
it.
is one of those things on each of the overheads, right? It would work with anyone's iPad.
Right.
Okay. So you
On the
wouldn't have to
wireless
keep going, you
projectors?
wouldn't have to levitate up and down every day.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's $100.
But they could leave it on the machine.
You put it like in the, yeah, like on top of it or something, so you would have to climb up before class.
Actually, that does have a hardware connection, so we could just connect it right to the network, too. But yeah, it'd have to stay up there.
Barry, that fancy dancy thing you have, an actual computer,
Mm-hmm.
it wouldn't be the Apple apps, but it would be other apps that you could connect to.
Any application that you could, that would run with Windows.
So that would be really slick,
I'm just gonna
because
show
then
you.
You'd have Office and everything, yeah.
I think
It's about twice the cost, at least 3 times.
Is this the thing that,
Twice.
Twice the cost.
that's another thing.
is that the thing that you
Well, I can
email
talk
about?
Yeah, it's a-
No,
All
we're
right, if I
talking
can get
about
this up.
computer, he has that
I'll
computer.
explain that.
Right.
Okay.
You're at the name of the Samsung
It's a Samsung
There you
Slate.
go.
Slate.
It's just a tablet.
Okay, show you the App Store. Again, it'll be one of your main icons down here on the bottom. All right, go ahead and click it. I just have Algebra up there, Algebra Touch or whatever. And again, it starts narrowing it down. You can narrow it down further and further and further. We talked about doing faculty development with these beginning of next semester. So we can do more specific.
Yeah.
We can tailor it to whatever, mathematics or science or political science, whatever. So we have that possibility as well. One thing you gotta be careful with these, when you have apps open, lots of apps open, that strains your battery. So you gotta be aware of that. Down here it tells you what apps you have open. Actually, you just double click this button here and it'll show you all the apps. I mean, I just have this full, and I think that's why it kind of stalled on me. But real easy to shut them down. You just hold it down till it wiggles, click the minus. Good, that's closed. Other questions?
Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
No problem.